Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so I'd like to welcome all the devotees. Thank you very much for joining us on this wonderful Monday sunny day. I'd like to seek your good wishes and your blessings so that we can continue to look at Canto 8, Chapter 13 and 14, hopefully today. It'll be a little bit technical today. Hope that's okay, but it's very interesting. Today we'll have a look at the time scales of the universe. So let's start with this verse, 36th verse of the 13th chapter. Rajams Chaturdasai Tani Trikala Nugatani Te Proktani Ebhit Mitha Kalpo Yuga Sahasra Paryaya. Maitri Rishi, you'd like to read the English?
Yes. O King, I have now described to you the 14 Manus appearing in the past, present, and future. The total duration of time ruled by these Manus is 1,000 Yuga cycles. This is called a Kalpa, or 1 day of Lord Brahma.
So this is the last verse of this chapter. And he summarized what is basically explained to Maharaj Pariksit. And we're going to have a look at what a kalpa means, what a day of the Lord of Brahma means, what are these 1,000 yuga cycles. So let's see, description of future Manus. Of the 14 Manus, 6 have already been described. So in the previous chapters and cantos, he's already gone through 6, starting with Swambhu Manu. Now this chapter will consecutively describe each Manu from the 7th to the 14th. And the one that really interested me, he wasn't a Manu, in Bali Maharaj, who we've not talked about yet, but we will do shortly. Bali Maharaj becomes one of the Indras and of one of the Manus. And very interesting, which we will come to in the next few chapters. Bali Maharaj gave a gift of 3 paces of land to Lord Vishnu. And because of this charity, he lost all the 3 worlds. Isn't that extraordinary? He gave charity to the Lord and he lost it all. Later, however, when Lord Vishnu is pleased because of Bali's giving everything to him, Bali Maharaj will achieve the perfection of life. With great affection, the Supreme Personality of Godhead bound Bali and then installed him in the kingdom of Sutala, which is more opulent than the heavenly planets. Bali Maharaj now resides on that planet. So he's still there and is more comfortably situated than Indra. And in his next life, he will be the Indra. And then he will go back to the spiritual world. So let's have a look at what are these manvantaras? Manus. Manvantara means the life span of Manu, right? Manu means the father of mankind, and Antara means lifespan. A Manvantara is ruled by a Manu. So there's 14 Manus. Each Manu has a distinct group of avatar, sages, and Indra. So Indra is a position. It's not a person. It's like president or king of heaven. So it's a position. And there can be many different Indras. Sometimes the Lord himself takes the position of Indra when there is no one qualified. And so on to help him with his duties. Manus are of the Kshatriya class because they're rulers, they're administrators, and they're the father to the human race. There are 14 Manvantara avatars, Manus as well, in a 12-hour day of Brahma. That's known as a Kalpa, 12-hour day. So the night is also 12 hours, but there's no Manvantaras at that time. There's no Manus. Nothing happens at night. It's silent, quiet. The Brahma Purana lists each Manu of the Manvantaras of the present Kalpa by name. So this Kalpa that we're in, 14 Manus, they're listed out in the Brahma Purana, as well as in this Bhagavad Purana that we are looking at. The Brahma Purana also outlines the children of each Manu, as well as the avatars and sages that accompany him, as does the Bhagavad Purana. So this is an idea, right? 14 Manus. We started with Swambhu Manu. Father was Brahma, avatar is Yagya and Indra. The Indra was also Yagya. So in this way, I won't go through each one, but we are currently in this one, the seventh one. We're in the seventh one at this moment in time. So 6 Manus in this one day of Brahma has already passed. Now, these scales of times are a little inconceivable, little hard for us to imagine. It's a little bit like the 2 frogs in the well. One frog has come from the ocean, the other frog is in the well, and the frog in the well asked the frog who was in the ocean, saying, how big is the ocean? Is it 10 times bigger than this well? No, much bigger. 20 times, 100 times? No, far bigger, million times. The frog in the well can never get his head around. How can he possibly be 1,000,000 times bigger? So it's a little bit like that for us to understand these timescales. We really have to have a great deal of faith and belief in these Puranas and the scriptures. So I wasn't planning to go into any of these because later on we'll see again this comes up. Oh yeah, so this is where we are. Vaivasvata Manu. Vivasvan is the father and Brahman is the avatar. So that's the Brahman boy who tricked Bali Maharaj. Purandara is the Indra. How long is a Manvantara and a Kalpa? Right? This is going to be a little bit more specific now. One Manvantara consists of 71 Mahayugs. And what is a Mahayug? Anybody know what a Mahayug is?
Is it all the 4 yugas combined?
Good.
Satyug and Treta, yes.
Yeah, spot on. And these are the years, 1,700 or 1 million, 1.7 million, 1.3 million, 864,000, Kali Yuga 437,000, 432,000. In total, a Mahayug, one Mahayug is 4.32 million years. And the life of one Manu is 71 Mahayugs. Right? 306 million years. That's one life of one Manu. It's a long life. Very, very long life. That's just one Manu. Remember, there's 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. So one day of Brahma is equal to 4.32 billion years. That's one day, 12-hour day of Brahma. 14 Manus in a 12-hour day. And plus there's something called Sandhyas. Sandhyas are gaps between the yugas when the earth is inundated with water. And each one of those Sandhyas is this long, 1.7 million years. So that's what makes it equal to 4.32 billion years. So in total, in one day of Brahma, there are 994 Mahayugs, all these, 994. And then there are 6 Sandhya Mahayugs. And that's how we come to the 1,000 yugs. So often we'll see that. Let's just go back somewhere. Yeah, there you go. 1,000 yuga cycles. So that's what it means. 1,000 yuga cycles is the 994 Mahayugas in the day of Brahma plus 6 Sandhya Mahayugas. So it's a little complicated, and I wouldn't expect everybody to get this. I don't get it myself. All I can understand is what's been written in the scriptures, and I'm just accepting it. So let's do a quick summary. Satyayug, 1.7 million years. Tretayug, 1.3. Dwapar Yuga, 800,000. Kali Yuga is the shortest age, 432,000. And we're about 5,000 years through Kali Yuga. So the Mahayuga, 4.3 million years. There's 71 of them in one Manu's day. One Manu's lifetime. He goes through 71 cycles. So one Manu has a lot of work to do. He's a very powerful soul. And his life is long, 306 million years. 14 of these Manus. Yes, Karuna.
Prabhuji, in the previous slide, you said that there are 6 sandhyas, and then in this one, about 15.
Yeah, these are Mahasandhyas. So effectively, how does that work? It's 15 because there's one in between each of the Manus and one at the beginning. I can't remember exactly how that works now. But the calculation is 6 Mahayugas are equal to 15 Sandhyas. So that's how they work it out. 6 Mahayugas, and there's a calculation that will exactly work that out. I don't have it, unfortunately.
Okay, Prabhuji.
But effectively, I think, let me just see if I can work it out. Yeah, that's it. If we multiply 15 times Satyayug, divide by 6 equals 1 Mahayug. So basically what they're saying, Satyayug is the length of a Sandhya, and there's 15 Sandhyas. So let's work that out. 15 times 1. So that means 25 million years. And if we divide those 25 million years by a Mahayug, divided by 4,320 equals to 6. That's how they get the figure of 6. I hope that makes sense. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you. Good question. So there you go. So we got, and well spotted, by the way. Thank you for that. It was good. Good. So this is 4.32 billion years is one day of Brahma. So where are we in the day of Brahma? How old is our Brahma, right? How old is he? Now, according to the scriptures, 50 years have passed of Brahma. 50 years, not days, years. And the last kalpa, at the end of the 50th year, is called the Padma Kalpa. So the kalpa that we're in is the first kalpa of his 51st year. Since 50 years of Brahma has already passed, this is the second parartha, also known as Dvitiya Parartha. We are currently in the first day of the 51st year, named Shweta Varaha Kalpa. This is where Lord Varaha comes, but he comes in a different color, white, Shweta. Within this day, so in our particular, this one day of Brahma, 6 manvantras have already passed. And now we're in the 7th one called Vaivasvata Manvantara. Within Vaivasvata Manvantara, already out of the 71 Mahayugas, 27 have passed. Plus Satya Yuga has passed, plus Satya Yuga has passed, plus Dwapara Yuga has passed. So we're now in the 28th cycle in Kali Yuga. And roughly this is when Kali Yuga began, 3,100 years before Christ. So we can actually work out exactly what the time is in Lord Brahma's creation, in Lord Brahma's world, in Brahmaloka. Calculating the elapsed time since the current Brahma's creation, it is, so he's halfway through his life, 311 trillion years is his total life, so halfway through it. And according to that calculation, according to where we are, the time there is approximately 11:28 in the morning. So it's, and his 1 second is like 100,000 years for Earth years, which is quite extraordinary. Okay. So this is a quick revision. This is the life of Brahma, whole life. According to earthly years, 311 trillion, 40 billion years. Half his life is already gone. And in this one day, 6 Manvantaras have already passed out of the 14. And 27 Mahayugas has already passed. So now we're in the 28th. And this is how many has passed already. And Kali Yuga, 5,000 years is gone. So the total time that Brahma has already lived in earthly years is this long, 155 trillion years. And so just doing a rough calculation, not rough, it's hopefully quite accurate. It's 11:28 in the morning for Lord Brahma. So this is inconceivably huge lifespan. 1 12-hour day kalpa is 4.32 billion years. His night is another kalpa of the same duration, and there's no activity. Thus 2 kalpas, Adya Sandhi, making 1 day of Brahma is equal to 8.64 billion years. 30 days of Brahma is 1 month, is 259 billion years. 12 months of 1 year of Brahma is 3.11 trillion years. And then 50 years is 156, plus one of these parapaths. So the full, his 100 years is 311 trillion, 40 billion years. 1 Mahayuga is 43 seconds for Lord Brahma. That's all it is. He just has to breathe in for 43 seconds. And 1 Mahayuga, the 4 yugas, 4.32 billion years, passes. And 1 second of Brahma is 100,000 human years. Extraordinary. It's a bit like, I think Madhusudan once said that it's like an ant or amoeba maybe. Amoeba can last a few seconds. And compared to an amoeba, our lifespan is like Brahma's lifespan. So the time is dependent on the condition of life we're in. Okay. So we've been through all of that. I won't go through that again. This is giving us an idea of how many avatars there are, right? These Manvantara avatars. Because it says in the Bhagavatam, there are unlimited avatars. So let's see how many avatars are there. Number of Manvantara avatars, there's 14 in 1 day of Brahma. In 1 month, there's 420 avatars that come of Brahma, in 1 month of Brahma. 1 year of Brahma, 5,000. And in a lifetime of Brahma, there's 504,000 manvantaras. That's just one lifetime. And there are innumerable universes, right? So multiply that by God knows what figure. And that's why it says there's unlimited avatars. And that is one breath of Mahavishnu. One life of Brahma is equal to one breath of Mahavishnu. This is his one breath. 311 trillion, 40 billion years. When we go to schools, we tell them how great God is, and then we give them an example of Mahavishnu lying on the ocean, breathing out with all these universes coming out. And we explain to them that his one breath is equal to this long, and they're always very stunned, as I am. Every time I explain that, I'm stunned myself. Okay, so back into this chapter again. He's already described the previous 6. Now he's describing Vaivasvata, Manu, and the next 8 or 6 it will be, I think. Hang on a sec. 1, 2, 3, 6, yeah. 7. So I'm not going to go through in any particular detail about, except let's go through our one. Vaivasvata Shraddhadev is a son of Vivaswan and Samgya. The demigods, they are Dityas, Vasu, Rudras, Vishvevata, Devas, Maruts, Ashwini Kumar, Rubush, the sons of the Manus, and we'll see their impact as well in the next chapter. Ikshwaku, very important, he's named in the Bhagavad Gita. Nabhag, Trasta, Satyavati, Sarvat, Saryati, Nirashyanta, Nabhag, Tishta, Tarusha, Prashadra, Vasumnam. So these are the sons of Manu, who've got almost as long life as Manu himself. And then the Indras. This one is Purandara, who is the son of Kashyap and Aditi. The 7 chief sages, Kashyap, Atri, Vashisht, Vishwamitra, Gautam, Jamadagni, Bharadvaja. Very good. And then the avatar, Manvantara avatar, is Vaman, son of Kashyap and Aditi. And what is this? The Lord's activities, yeah. He took the worlds from Bali. So I won't go through any detail for number 8 to 14. These are the future. And Bali, you can see, Bali is going to be the next Indra in the next Manvantara. Nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's just have a quick browse. Again, not planning to go through these in any detail. But it's such amazing that Bhagavatam and the Puranas has this fantastic information already for us, for the future. But nothing particularly comes to mind. That's because of lack of knowledge rather than anything else. So that's the end of the 13th chapter. Any questions?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Kaushalya Maji.
Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask, Lord Brahma's day is so long. What about his night?
Same.
Same long.
Yeah, same. The night is 4.3 billion years.
Oh my God.
He has a good sleep.
So when he sleeps, who works for him?
Nothing happens. Everything is
Nothing.
finished.
Yeah.
And when he wakes up, he has to start creation all over again.
So when it's night, we all merge into water.
We go back into Mahavishnu's body. We go back. Yeah, we go back into Mahavishnu's body. For that 4.3 billion years, we go to sleep as well.
Oh my God. In Vishnu's body.
Yeah. And then we come back out again and he starts the creation. Wherever we left off, we start again.
So like that, his age is 50 years, is it?
Yes. This is his first day of his 51st year.
Oh, oh my God. So this is his half day gone, that means only.
Yes,
half day.
Nearly half day gone. But he's
still,
yeah, 11:28. But his 1 second is 100,000 years.
My God. So that means this is his first birthday not yet come.
His 51st birthday has, his 50th birthday is just finished.
Okay.
50th birthday is finished. So he's just coming now into his 51st year.
So then we will go into Mahavishnu, yeah?
No, we've got some time. We are only halfway through the Manvantara. We're only halfway through. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, there you go. See, we are halfway through here. So we've still got a long way in this Mahayug cycle, or in this Manvantara. We only been through 6 Manvantras. And we are in the 7th one now, and there's another 7 Manvantras. So we got a long time to get out of this world.
Oh my God.
But
I thought after Kali Yuga, we are going back to Vishnu.
No. Oh, I see. Yeah, you probably will be if you continue with your bhakti and prayers to the Lord.
Yes.
Why not? Nothing can stop you from going back home, back to Godhead.
We should, Prabhuji, we should try go back home.
I think so. No.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
That's okay. Thank you for your question. Pitambar, sandpapering living room, okay. Would Brahma ever wake up in the middle of the night like we do? Good question. I'm not sure of the answer, I have to say. He probably doesn't have the needs that we would in order to wake up. No, he probably won't. He's whacked out, right? Because if you can imagine, he's had a lot of work to do. Every time a Manu leaves, there's a partial destruction. Every time his day ends, there's a partial, he has to rebuild everything. Not everything. He has to rebuild from part of the heaven and all of the earth and the lower planets. So he's got really a lot of work to do. So he has a good rest. He has a good rest at the end of his life, his day, in fact. After every Manu, so after 14 times in a day of Brahma, he has to recreate the world, more or less. So he's whacked out by the end of his day. So he'll sleep like a log.
So it means that we are just wasting time in eating, arguing, and all that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So how much time we waste in arguing and family matters and all that. Brahmaji is doing so constructive work, and we are spoiling his work.
Indeed, I agree with you. We got to get our act together for sure. And that's exactly the point of this. So Suresh, you're absolutely spot on. Well understood.
My mind is working overtime with those ears. My God. How much time we waste?
Yeah.
Eating, sleeping.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. If we get our time management right, we can do really well.
At least we do bhakti anyway.
Yeah.
I think Brahmaji, Vishnuji will be happy with us. We are always in bhakti anyway.
Definite. And the more bhakti we do, the time gets extended even beyond Brahma's time. And one example.
You won't believe, any minute I have, I just go on Puran, reading Purans. And at the moment I'm doing Markandeya Puran. Yeah, and I feel I don't want to waste time. That's the urge in me nowadays.
Good.
So with Brahmaji, poor thing, he's looking after the whole. That's why this creation has caused this coronavirus, because people have misused his work.
Yeah. He has a lot more to deal with than coronavirus. But yeah, I take your point. Your point.
Because we are wasting time rather than doing other things. Now God is telling us, you watch, I'll sort you out.
Yeah, not just time wasting, we exploiting the resources and exploiting each other. So many things we do.
Yes, that's true. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you for that realization.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
My realization, I think the style of lifestyle is so different. It's very difficult to comprehend and compare what the day and night are from Brahma and compared to ours, as we compare with the little ant. Get me? Is that what
it is hard to comprehend, but if you just imagine a little amoeba has seconds to live, that seconds to him is like 100 years, and
exactly
for us it's just a second or two. And if you explained it to an amoeba that, hey, I live for a long time, he'll never understand it. So similarly, this is almost incomprehensible.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
till the end of the Kali Yuga, do you think it will be the same seventh Manu ruling at that time?
Yeah.
I
the
think
same Manu.
Yes.
Yeah. He rules for 71
Yugas.
Yeah.
71 cycles.
Mahayugas.
Mahayugas. So
yeah. So he'll be there. He'll be helping Brahma.
End of this Kali Yuga anyway.
Yeah. He'll be helping Brahma recreate. Because even after every cycle, there's a little destruction that takes place. Just to get everything back onto track again. Satyug started.
Okay, so after the Kali Yuga, Satyuga will start after a bit of a disruption.
Yeah, a little destruction, not too much.
Yes.
A little inundation.
And
but
then
after
it will go through the cycle.
Sorry?
And then it will go through, and then next Kali will come when Kalki Avatar will come.
Kalki Avatar will...
In the next Kali Yuga, isn't it?
This Kali Yuga,
this Kali Yuga.
coming up.
At the end of this Kali Yuga.
Yeah, end of this Kali Yuga.
And he starts the Satyug, basically.
Yeah, he starts. Okay.
That's how many years?
Well, it's still apparently 426,000, something like that. But Guru Maharaj was very clear that Kalki will come sooner, because Kali has already eaten his good karma, if you like. He's created so much bad, sinful reactions in this world that Kalki should appear anytime. He's already done all the damage that Kali was going to do in this yuga. So Guru Maharaj was a little bit clearer. He was very positive that this is going to come soon.
Yes, this avatar is on his way down.
Let's not meet him. Huh?
Prabhu, when you say Hare Krishna, Prabhu, when you say any time, can it be I mean, I don't know, in the next 10 years or so. I don't.
Possible. But this coronavirus is sort of, to some degree,
A prelude.
prelude. Yeah, he's making some adjustments, and maybe that will purify Kali a little bit, so it continues for a little longer. But who knows? It said that the more sins one does, one reduces one's lifespan. So this is the point, especially what they're doing to Gomata. It's so bad that even in the land of Bharat, you know, I don't know if it's the case now, but they used to do really horrible things to Gomata. And Guru Maharaj was used to get very upset with all that.
Prabhu, did you hear May will be the month of no meat for the world? No meat.
When is that?
May, the month of May.
May. Oh, good.
Meat free.
Wow. Let's hope people adhere to it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing that.
But I mean, from Lord Chaitanya's birth, it's supposed to be the 10,000 golden age. So hopefully, because like coronavirus, people are going more towards religion, you know, being more spiritual. So maybe, you know, it might help keep Kalki away for a little while.
I think one thing is for sure, we have to do our very best in this very life.
Not everyone have to take birth again.
Yeah, in this life, in this wonderful opportunity that we've been given by the Lord, by his pure devotees, let's make the most of it. If we get our act together and go back within this very lifetime, you know, that has to be the aim. Whether we make it or not, that's not up to us. But the more we help others, the better chance that we have. And helping them by giving them Krishna consciousness is the best way.
Harimal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
You know, Prabhu, we are doing the great task by Harinam Sankirtan, which has been told to do in every town and village. So in Mauritius, we are trying to do it most frequently. And as Prabhupada said, Mauritius will become the first Krishna conscious country. So, so that's it. We are trying to do if we do it every day, Sankirtan, all the people will accept very, very favorable. Yes, even the Muslims,
absolutely,
Muslims, very favorable. You know, but we are trying now. We are just struggling with this corona. Okay, Harimal Prabhu.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Let's try. Okay, so 14th chapter, 8th verse. Jnanam chanu yugam brute hari siddha swarupadre Rishirupa dharara karma yogam yogesha rupadre.
In every yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, assumes the form of siddhas such as Sanak to preach transcendental knowledge. He assumes the form of great saintly persons such as Yajnavalkya to teach the way of karma. And he assumes the form of great yogis such as Dattatreya to teach a system of mystic yoga.
Okay, so carries on. This chapter is one of the smallest chapters in the Bhagavatam, 11 verses. And this describes a little bit about why Manu needs such help from these different personalities. Okay, the duties and it describes the duties allocated to Manu by the Supreme Lord. All of the Manus, as well as their sons, the sages, the demigods, Indras, they act under the orders of the various incarnations. And these are called avatars, Manvantaras. At the end of every Chaturayug, that's the Mahayug, consisting of Satya, Dwapara, Treta, Kali, The sages, acting under the orders of the Supreme Lord, distribute the Vedic knowledge and thus reinstate eternal religious principles. Manu's duty is to re-establish the system of religion. So there's a book called the Manu Samhita, which is the law book of mankind. Manu's sons execute Manu's orders, and thus the entire universe is maintained by Manu and his descendants. The Indras are various rulers of the heavenly planets. Assisted by demigods, they rule the three worlds. How do they rule? Well, they are in charge of the various elements: water, fire, Agni, water is Varun, like that. The Supreme Lord also appears as incarnations in different yugas. He appears as Sanak, Sanatan, Yagyavaikya, Dattatreya, and others. And thus he gives instructions in spiritual knowledge, prescribed duties, principles of mystic yoga, and so on. As Marichi and others, he creates progeny. As the king, this is the Lord, through these, as avatars. Through the king, he punishes the miscreants. In form of time, he destroys everything. One may argue, if the all-supreme, powerful Supreme Lord can do anything simply by his will, why has he arranged for so many personalities to manage? How and why he does this cannot be understood by those who are under the clutches of Maya. So why does he do all this? Well, firstly, it's the living entity's desire to do, to manage, to rule, conquer, maybe, get power, etc. But also, so therefore the Lord fulfills their desires and allows them to do what they want to do. All of these personalities, apart from the avatars, of course, are conditioned souls, including Swayambhu Manu. Every Manu is a conditioned soul. He's living in this world because he wants to control. And the Lord's giving them the opportunity to do that. Hopefully, they'll become devotees, like we are trying to. So let's have a look at the specific duties of the 6 types of persons in a Manvantara. There's the Manu. He reestablishes the 4 parts of Dharma on earth, the occupational duties. There's the demigods. They take the share of the results of the sacrifices and they rule the 3 worlds as well. There's the sons of Manu, Manuputra. They discharge the orders of the Lord and enjoy the results of sacrifice. There's the Indra, Sura Ishwar, enjoys the opulence of the 3 worlds and maintains all living entities by pouring rain. Fundamental. Rishya, 7 chief sages. At the end of every Chaturayuga, they re-establish Sanatana Dharma, the eternal spiritual principles that were lost in time, with time. And then there's the Manvantara avatars, the Amsh part of the Supreme Lord. They appoint the other 5 personalities. So they're really in charge. The avatars, they're in charge. And there's millions of them, literally millions of them. And what are the Lord's forms? Because we just talked about the different forms he takes. He takes the forms of the Siddhas, the highly elevated souls, Sanak, to preach transcendental knowledge. The Rishis. What's the difference between them? These are really tapasvis. And the Rishis can be of many different varieties. Yagya Valkya, to teach the way of karma. Yogis, Dattatreya, to teach a system of mystic yogi. Prajapati, Marichi, to create progeny. The kings, Manu's sons, to kill thieves and rogues. And then, of course, there's the all-consuming time, which destroys everything. All the different qualities of material existence are the Lord's qualities only. This is quite interesting. So that's the end of chapter 14. Quite technical. I think we did 13 and 14 today, yeah. So, any questions? Any comments?
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
all this is written in our Bhagavatam and the Puranas, did you say? Puranas as well?
Actually, Bhagavatam is one of the Puranas, the topmost Purana.
So it's in the Bhagavatam, okay.
It's in the Bhagavatam, but also other Puranas have it. The Brahma Purana has a lot of details.
Really?
And there's another one. What is that called? No, yeah, maybe. There's forgotten the name of it. It's a two-word name. No, I can't remember now. There's another one which has a lot of detail, even more. There's Padma Puran, that has a lot of detail. But there's another one, Vaivarta, I can't remember now. It's very, very detailed.
And these were all written by Vyasdev.
Vyasdev.
He got this he got all this knowledge from Krishna.
He's actually Avatar himself.
Okay, yes,
So,
yes. Yes, he got this knowledge, self-knowledge, all this knowledge.
He's Avatar, but at the same time, he was playing the role of a, like a sage. So, but he's all-knowing himself.
Still, Narad Muni came and had to advise.
Exactly. That's what I was saying here. He's playing the role of a sage. So sometimes the sages become a little bit bewildered.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially because what he was doing, he was giving the Upanishads and the Vedas so much technicalities there. Not really describing the glories of the Lord. And he was still feeling very dissatisfied within himself. A little bit like us when we are trying to, I suppose I can give you the example of you're trying to buy this property and, you could lose track of yourself in the detail. But if you forget the end game, which is to please Krishna, you can become very dissatisfied. Because in Kali Yuga, so many forces are against, somebody doing spiritual activities. But if you always remember, look, yes, we're doing this. Ultimately, it's just to please the Supreme Lord. And if it doesn't happen, that's his wish. If it happens, that's his wish. We're just instruments. Then we also feel a little bit satisfied that, okay. So we don't want to get lost in the detail. And he got lost in the detail. I mean, this, of course, his avatar. This is a pastime. But the example is to us that always have that end goal in mind, that we want to please the Supreme Lord. And what Narad Muni said to him is, what you've done will not please the Supreme Lord, because you have not glorified the activities of the Supreme Lord and his devotees. So then he got his refocus back. And really that's an example to us, that how we should conduct our spiritual activities. Always have that focus that we want to please the Supreme Lord.
One question, which may appear a bit stupid or a bit sort of short-sighted. Yeah, humans, we have got very limited lifespan, isn't it? 70 years. All this which is written, what use it will be for people like us, apart from the technicalities and the knowledge?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's true in one sense. But what it does, like Suresh was saying, it just makes you refocus ourselves. Hey, how much time I waste, and I think even if it gives us a little more focus in our spiritual direction, then it's worth it. And we have to also remember the Devotees, they're praying to become humans on earth, because from this platform that we are on, because there's not much pleasure in this world, and at the same time, it's not excessively miserable, that's the word, so that we can focus on the Supreme Lord. But we know if we focus on the material nature, we're going to get hammered. And we get hammered every time. So that's why the demigods, who are always in great enjoyment, enjoying mood, they come to our world. They want to come to our world as human beings. And the beauty is the lifetime is short. That's great. Because how, to meditate for thousands of years is very hard. It's good we have a short lifetime, as long as we focus it right.
Yeah.
So it's actually a fantastic blessing in one sense. As long as our focus is right, we don't waste time, and we try to please the Lord. We're studying about Him, together we're chanting and everything else. We're in the right direction.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Thank
you. Hare Krishna. Maitri. Rishi? Yeah. Maitri Rishi, you'd like to say anything?
No, someone was phoning me.
Oh, okay. No problem. Okay. Let's go to the lessons. Oh. Oops. Indulekamaji, you there?
Hare Krishna, Babuji. Yes, I'm here.
Go for it.
Second. Okay.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Lesson from Canto 8. Chapter 1. If we want to listen to the pastimes of the Lord to perfect this human life, we should inquire submissively from a bona fide spiritual master and carry out their instructions dutifully. Chapter 2. We are all living in the delusion that our wealth and family members will save us at time of danger, but actually only the Supreme Personality of Godhead can rescue us at all times. Chapter 3, our ultimate goal of life is to understand that we are all caught up by the eternal time and we may die at any moment. So we should take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can save us from the struggle of this material world. Chapter 4, if ever we are cursed by great personalities, we should accept it as blessings in disguise, because at the end, the outcome are very beneficial. Chapter 5, in this material world, possessing too much wealth is risky because one may become puffed up and may not care about others. Thus, one may commit offenses and may fall down. Chapter 6, it is nice to welcome others to our place, even if they are not our friends. We should try to know the intention, as it could be for our own good. Chapter 7, at times, we are not happy with what comes our way, thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. But the Lord has His own plan for us. Chapter 8, sometimes we may think that we are the controller of our lives, but we are controlled by desires. Actually, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a true controller, Isvara Parama Krishna. The Supreme Controller is Krishna. Chapter 9, the Lord always protects His devotees, even though both devotees and non-devotees may be performing the same activities in the same field, but the devotees achieve better results at the end. Chapter 10, it doesn't matter how powerful some living entities may be, but if they don't take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are never successful. Chapter 11, everyone is struggling to exist in this battlefield of life, thinking of power only, but no one is independent, since everyone is subject to the material nature. Chapter 12, to be freed from the dualities of material desires, one needs to simply engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord without any personal desire for sense gratification. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Very good. Madhusan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Haribo. Yeah, so these chapters, like I said, they're very technical. And at the same time, very hard for us to understand, and how insignificant we feel when we look at in the grand scale of things, and Lord Brahma's life compared to our life and everything. So it is quite challenging, but at the same time, we only live for a short time on this planet. We come here in the middle of all the things going on, and then leave, and then don't know what happens. So yeah, it's confusing. But I like when I was asking in one. I mean, I'll just digress a little bit, because you know, Prabhupada in the purport says, you know, that like in the Bhagavad Gita, it states that Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschid Yatati Siddhiye. Out of many millions of people, one may attempt to achieve success in life. So, you know, we want to make our success, but this success is explained here. Prabhupada says that, you know, Gadam Indra Padam Hitva Tata Siddhim Avashyati. Siddhi consists of achieving the favor of Lord Vishnu, not the yoga siddhis like, you know, Anima, Lagima, all these different. They're all temporary. Ultimate siddhi is to achieve the favor of Lord Vishnu. So somehow or the other in our life, you know, if we work towards pleasing the Supreme Lord, and that's what all these different personalities, Krishna is trying his best to arrange all these different things, different avatars, different personalities running the universe. Indra, all these facilities are provided, you know. And then ultimately the desire of somebody to become an Indra, or somebody wants to become all sorts of things, you know, different siddhis. Krishna is to reward them and give them positions. Like somebody wants to be the president of the country or this or that, you know. And so that's desires, you know, ultimately. So chapter 13, in this chapter, we are instructed by Sukadeva Goswami, the present Manu, who is named as Shraddhadev, is the son of Vivaswan, the predominant deity of the sun god. Shraddhadev is the seventh Manu, like you mentioned. So Shastras actually predict future Manus as well. And they're very precise, and it's not just imagination or anything, you know, like mythology, some people start to say, you know, this, but also it's confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that, you know, Imam Vivasvata Yogam Proktavan Yam Vivaswan Manave Praha Manu Ikshwaka. So all these names, Ikshwaku, Vivaswan, they're all mentioned here as well. When Krishna is speaking all this on the battlefield in Kurukshetra and instructing Arjun, that, you know, I instructed this science of yoga to sun god Vivaswan. Vivaswan then instructed to Manu, and father of mankind, and Manu instructed to Ikshwaku. So Krishna says to Arjuna Bhagavad Gita, you know, he is instructed this before. So, and then in chapter 14, then it continues that, you know, as devotees, that's what we have to try to be, you know, as devotees, we are instructed to just accept the Supreme Personality of God as he is and remain happy, you know, chanting the glories of the Lord and follow Lord Chaitanya's instructions and movement, and the Krishna consciousness, you know, will keep us within the bounds of the Sanatana Dharma and progress and make success of our life, actually. So Krishna manages the material universe in a systematic way and appears to establish Sanatana Dharma through this parampara, actually. So as long as we are getting the knowledge in the parampara from Krishna, which he has already established, then we're on the right track. So, okay, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Very good. Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's move on to the Sri Kavach.